Hi everyone, welcome back to the controversial podcast. In today's video, we'll be discussing about Shadrach Sibiya. I know I've been AWOL, but I'm back. We're going to talk about the Deputy Commissioner under Crime Detection. This suspended Deputy Commissioner is very cocky. Like, on a serious note, no wonder the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, blocked him at some point because you can see this guy, he doesn't understand the organogram. I'm talking about the structure of the organization. It seems like he doesn't understand his position based on what I've seen on the ad hoc committee. It's like he got that position just because he was politically connected or he knew someone in the SAPS who hold a senior position. Maybe that's why he's a deputy commissioner because, I don't think this guy understands his duties. No wonder he says Mkhwanazi must account to him. He says he's bigger than Mkhwanazi. Not only that, he does not respect seniors. Let me put this clip.
And we have seen a letter from the State Security Agency confirming paragraph 4 that you bought equipment. Can you confirm that?
General Mkhwanazi ukhuluma into angazazi nje. There's nothing like that. That what General Mkhwanazi is talking about is in his own head, in his own mind. Ayikho leyo nto.
Le equipment ekhulunywa ngayo la kazi wayithenga wena for
I did explain, Chair, that if you are the head of department of a city, world-class city, and you say we need to bring, to create an office that will carry the office, that where we need to build a war room that is strong, and then you let the IT people sit together in a room in consultation with SSA and say we want to build capacity that will be able to carry the city, so that when we are sitting here, we know that we are able to trace as to how many buildings are hijacked. In the city of Joburg, you do find a situation where you find that they buy tires, but they buy tires every day. There's a car that keeps on replacing tires. Almost in a month, they will replace tires twice in a month, which means they steal tires. There's a car that continue keeping on pouring petrol 2 times, 3 times in a day, which means they steal petrol. Now, you need a system that is able to actually gather such type of information and be able to give you a picture. You need a system that will tell you that how many syndicates are operating within revenue services. There are people who are milling around revenue services when people are coming to pay electricity at the revenue services. You have people who says, let me help you jump the queue. And they will go take the money and go as if they are going to pay for you, and then the system will be updated, but people will share money. Now, you need to create systems in such a way that from the war room, you are able to know where is the city losing more money of all these departments. You need to have a system where you know that we have a database of all the cases that are reported, and to be able to track them and to be able to do the linkages and to be able to see whether there are officials that are working with outside people or not. So to have an information management center is the only way to be able to run the affairs of the city. This is technology. Today we are living in the fourth and fifth industrial revolution. You cannot depend on paperwork that is not able to assist you. So having bought that, I was not the one even who said in the meeting or no who designed those whatever equipment that was said, because I didn't know them.
So you can see this guy does not understand his duties. He thinks he knows, but he knows nothing. I mean, General Mkhwanazi told us that he reports to the National Commissioner, of which is Fani Masemola. Pretty sure he read his contract. In his testimony, he talks about the work study and is trying so hard to discredit the political task team. He says PKTT is wasting money and is criticizing this team. He's talking about money wasted here, of which I don't get it, because the PKTT was established by President Cyril Ramaphosa. He's the one who's giving the budget for this team, and Shadrack Sibiya is just a deputy minister in the national office. You know, when I say he does not understand his duties, there's this guy called Ngola, the member of parliament, who was just grilling him about the PKTT. You can see that Sibiya does not understand anything. He asked him, did you speak to the stakeholders of the PKTT since you wrote that letter of disbanding the team? He said he didn't. It was Khumalo who was supposed to do that. As he says, he was given by the National Commissioner to disband this team. Yet, at the same time, the National Commissioner, Fane Masemola, was on leave at that particular time. Somebody was acting, I think it's General Motsiki. I think it's General Tsiki or Motsiki, something like that. I'm sorry for butchering his name. It seems like there was no communication here. He just disbanded that team. He never bothered to ask some questions because the National Commissioner didn't establish this team. It was established by the president. So why couldn't he organize a meeting, call the minister, call the president, and also somebody who's responsible for the PKTT, of which is the General Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. He did not do those things. He keeps on shifting the blame. He says that person was supposed to contact all the stakeholders is General Khumalo. I mean, there he was just exposed that he does not understand his work. Like, honestly, Herman Mashaba needs to go to that ad hoc committee and tell the committee why. I know at that time he was still a DA member and he was the mayor of the Johannesburg. He keeps on blaming other people. I mean, he even said that General Fane Masemola was lying about not knowing that letter that was written on the 31st of December, of which that was just weird because how can Minister of Police Senzo Mchunu disband that team? I mean, that team was established by the president. If anything, President Cyril Ramaphosa was supposed to call the provincial commissioner and tell him that, you know what, I'm disbanding this team because of these reasons. Fane Masemola even stated that I spoke with that minister and asked him why does he want to disband the PKTT, and he didn't have reasons. Apparently, he was also angry that there was an arrest. You know, it seems like Senzo Mchunu is a problem because General Mkhwanazi also mentioned that when Senzo Mchunu was a premier, he also interfered when they were trying to arrest somebody. So you can see he's been using his power as not only in the SAPS, and I think he should be investigated, especially where he was a minister or MEC or a premier. That guy needs to be investigated. I don't think he was in that position to say, you know what, this team is not working, so we need to dismantle this team. The General Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal stated that there were people that were threatened by the PKTT, and it seems like Shadrack Sibiya is one of them because, like, I don't understand when he's trying to relate the work study to PKTT because, according to the president, they have done a good job. Mkhwanazi even said so that the president really praised the team, yet the team didn't receive any award. Instead, Sibiya was actually given an award for the job that was done by the PKTT. Secondly, this Sibiya guy said he was never given the dockets. He didn't receive any dockets. Basically, he never saw those dockets. But at the same time, he says when he was asked that some of the pages were missing when the dockets were returned to KwaZulu-Natal, he says no. How did he know that the general is lying about the pages being missing in those dockets? Like, you can tell that this guy is just hiding something. What I really failed to understand when he was questioned by the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, specifically Skhosana. At first, he didn't want to be questioned by Skhosana and said they work together with the General of KwaZulu-Natal. So he doesn't want to be questioned by him because they have filed a complaint against him or they've opened a case against him. Secondly, he says Mkhwanazi was communicating with the Umkhonto weSizwe, of which I don't get it. Like, how does he know that? Does he have a proof that the KZN provincial commissioner was actually communicating with the Umkhonto weSizwe Party? So you can see that this guy is very cocky. Whoever appointed him really made a big mistake because he does not understand his work. Not only that, he's cocky. Another things that he's saying about the General of KwaZulu-Natal, he says he's lying, he's attacking him, he's attacking the PKTT. At the same time, he says the PKTT has done a wonderful work. I don't think he's competent to be holding that position. I really don't understand when he says he attended the January 8 ANC event. He is the man who's working as a Deputy National Commissioner under crime detection. And now I understand that all those events, the SAPS has to delegate members that will make sure that nobody is fighting or whatsoever in those events. But him as the Deputy National Commissioner, what was he doing at the ANC event? You can see this man is politically connected. What are you doing in the ANC event? Normally, it would be constables or just the police officers who will go there and make sure that everything runs smoothly and they're going to guard the crowd. So what was Sibiya doing there? I feel like they just need to dismiss a lot of people in the SAPS, especially those police officers who are holding senior positions, because that organization is infiltrated by criminals. What I've learned in that ad hoc committee is that Sibiya does not like the general, the provincial commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, because Mkhwanazi is just a straightforward man. He doesn't like corruption. So maybe that's why they clash. No wonder the public entities are not functioning in South Africa, because you are hired because you know a senior politician or you know somebody who's... It's not about your experience and your qualifications. It's just about who you know. And there's also a similar case whereby the Minister of Social Development, I think it's Social Development, hired a 22-year-old, I think they are related, to be a chief of staff. Yes, the person doesn't understand the organization, who knows nothing because he's so young, he's 22 years old. I'm sure she's fresh from the uni, but because her aunt is the Minister of the National Development, she got a position because of that. No wonder we're in this situation. We need people who are competent, who have skills, people who have qualifications, people who have experience at least. You know, we're never going to win as a country if we're going to hire useless people. Share your thoughts on this video. Let's be respectful on the comment section. We don't have to be emotional. And do you agree what I've just said or you don't agree? Please let me know on the comment section. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.